If you keep failing your driving test, then you really need to watch this. What we're going to do is we're going to look at 5 areas that will definitely improve your chances of passing the next driving test. Now, all of them might appeal to you, some of them might appeal to you. So these are the 5 areas. The first one is going to be private driving lessons. The second area is going to be analysing your driving test report sheet. The third area is going to be driving test nerves. The fourth area is going to be the time of your driving test. And the fifth area is going to be the time before your driving test, which is quite important. Having private driving lessons. Now, this doesn't apply to everyone having private driving lessons, but if you've got the opportunity, you've got a car on the driveway, or your parents have said to you, do you know what? You can share our car, we'll put it on insurance, then jump at it. Don't kind of leave it sat there. I've come across a few students over the last 5-6 years, not many I have to say, who've got the opportunity to use the parents' car and they've not took it. And in the end, I've had to kind of say to them, why aren't you taking lessons in your parents' car at the same time? Oh, well, I'm a bit nervous, it's a bit bigger, it's not the same as yours. So what? Get out in the car. The more practice you can get on them roads, the better you're going to cope with everyday situations that crop up in front of you. Because you can guarantee on the driving test, something strange is going to happen. And the more experience you've got on them roads, the better you'll cope with it. So if you've got opportunity to have lessons in your parents' car, or they've bought you a car, then take it. Grab their hand. I'll have that, please. I'll have that. Because it's so important. The more experience, the better you're going to get at things. And also, what you're going to remember also is the more cars you drive, the more confidence you're going to get. It might feel a bit strange at first driving 2 cars, 2 different clutches, 2 different gears, how the brakes work, but the best you get, the best you'll cope. So if you've got opportunity, snap their hand off and take it. The driving test report sheet, the DVSA will email you a report sheet of your faults when you fail your driving test, and they'll also email you if you pass as well the same sheet with your faults. Now, it's quite important for you to sit down and look at them faults and work out what the faults mean. I'll put a link below to information on the faults and what they mean, and I'll also put a video at the top there. You'll see it on the driving test report sheet, one of what I've done on the video to give you an idea what they're like. And if you can analyse the faults, and if you took 2 or 3 tests, then what you want to be doing is putting side by side the driving test report sheets and see if any faults reoccur on each of the tests. And if they do, that's something you've got to work on more, because it's something that's cropped up, and it could be nerves causing it, it could be the fact that you've got lack of preparation, or you're just not ready for that test at that point. So do analyse the report sheet, speak to your instructor if you're working with an instructor, and they'll work with you to improve them faults. If you're working with your parents, then sit down together and work on them faults to improve your driving. Driving test nerves, it affects people all the time on the driving test. It even affects people on the driving lessons to a certain point. But when you take your driving test, if you've took 2 or 3 driving tests and you know the nerves has affected you and it's made you fail because of the nerves, and it could be your legs gone numb, your arms have gone numb. I've seen all this happen. You know, I've had students who that's done to, and it's got to the point where you can't drive, or you're making to the point where you forgot everything. You forgot how to the manoeuvre the examiner's asked you to do, and you know you can do it. You've been doing it for the last 2-3 months, but on the test it's just gone blank. Nerves, that's what it is. Nerves affecting you. So what I'll do is, there's a video at the top there to watch on driving test nerves that I've recorded. It's got some great tips in there that's definitely going to help you. So you want to watch that video also. And I'm going to recommend a website, especially if you're really thinking nerves is the worst case for me at the moment. In the description below, Hell of a Way to Pass, run by an instructor called Deanne Auld, who has gone off to university and got all the qualifications to help people like you who suffer from nerves. There's online courses on there, and just scroll through the website and click on what you need, what you think is going to help you, or even send her a message and just ask her for advice. That will definitely help you. Okay, so I hope these help you. If they do, fantastic. Let's have a look at the next one. The time and day of your driving test, quite important. And I know at the moment getting the right time to suit you is difficult because of the pandemic. But think of it like this, all right? If you're having lessons on a Monday morning at 9:30 and you've gone on to book your driving test and you've booked a Friday afternoon, the traffic's completely different. The time of day is completely different. The day, and what you've got to say to yourself is, I really want to try and get a time similar to what I'm having lessons in. So if I'm having lessons at 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, I want to try and get a test in that similar time if I can. If I'm having lessons in the afternoon, I want to try and get tests in the afternoon at similar time. Right? If that's ideal. If you can't do that and you've ended up booking a test, like I say, on a Friday afternoon, and you're having lessons on a Monday morning or Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning, then what you want to say is about a month before your driving test, and don't leave this to the last minute, speak to your instructor and try and have a few different times on lessons that'll suit the actual flow of traffic. So if you can switch to an afternoon lesson on one, say a Monday afternoon or a Tuesday afternoon or even a Friday afternoon, switch to a lesson then so you can get a feel for the flow of traffic and how busy things get. Then it'll give you an idea of whether you're going to cope better on the driving test, and it'll give you the confidence, because if you know you can cope better, then you'll be better on the driving test. Where if you go in for that driving test and you've never driven on that time of the day, and all of a sudden you turn up at a test centre and you're noticing all this traffic around you that you're not used to, then it's going to definitely affect you when you start off on the driving test, because you'll be thinking about all that traffic rather than thinking about what you should be doing. Now, if you're having driving lessons at different times every other week, that's not going to matter, is it? So that this bit won't matter to you. But if it is a different time and a different day, then think about it. If you're having lessons on a Sunday morning, it's probably going to be quieter than having lessons on a Friday morning or a Saturday morning. So try and arrange a day that's slightly different than what you're used to, and that'll give you a good indication of how good you are in busier traffic. And if you're not very good in busy traffic, then you want to have a few more lessons to get good at it, because once you pass your driving test, you're not going to drive around in the quiet traffic all the time. You're going to drive to college or to university or to work in rush hour, aren't you? So have a few lessons in rush hour. That'll help also. Okay? Let's talk about the driving test and the time before your driving test. Now, I've had people who come to me who've took 2, 3, 4 driving tests, and when I'm talking to them, there are different reasons why they fail. But when I come across ones who say to me, well, I failed towards the end of the test, and I say to them, well, how did you feel? How did you feel at the end? I was shattered. I was shattered. All the stress of it burnt me out, and all I want to do is get back to the test centre and just kind of quit at that point. They were absolutely, basically shattered, it was. So when I ask more questions, it turns out that they normally have an hour lesson, or they have an hour and a half lesson. And on the day of the driving test, they had an hour before the test. So they're having actually longer in the car than what they're used to. So fatigue is going to creep in on the test. What you've got to say to yourself is, if you're having an hour lesson or an hour and a half lesson, and on the day of the test you're going to take an hour, you're going to get tired. So you need to set less time before the driving test. And if you live 15 minutes away from your driving test centre, then you want to say to your instructor, well, I don't want an hour, I want half an hour or 45 minutes, half an hour. And you're going to drive me towards the test centre, and then the next 15 minutes before the test, I'm going to drive round then just to kind of have a little drive in the car. Because I had a drive in the car a couple of days ago or last week, and I was fine. And I know all manoeuvres, I know how to drive, just get in the car so I don't feel rusty, and then driving to the test centre so I'm fresh. On that driving test, I don't feel tired. I'll last all the way through it. I'm not tired. And that'll definitely help improve your chances of passing straight away. Right? If your instructor says to you, well, you can't have half an hour, you've got to have an hour, that's fine. Pay for the hour. Just make sure they drive you there. And then pull over and just have a chat in the car. Don't do any work. And then last 15, 20 minutes, you have a drive round again. And then take a test. That's what you want to do to improve your chances of passing. Because if you're getting fatigue at the end, you're having too much time before you test. You know, and if you're having 2-hour lessons and your stamina's fine, you're not tired towards the end, then you are going to be fine. But if you recognise that every time you have a 2-hour lesson, towards the last 15, 20 minutes, the standards start dropping, you start making mistakes, because I'm sure your instructor's going to say this, then you want to have a shorter lesson before you test. So I hope these bits of advice are going to help you. 5 bits of advice. If they do, fantastic. And leave a comment below if it's helped, and if you've passed. If it has, fantastic. Safe driving. Good luck on that test.